Final match day of the USL. The regular season is upon us, and why not? Rain showers all day, all night in the forecast in beautiful Vaughan, Ontario for some Toronto FC 2 action. Luca Uccello back in the 11 for TFC II, returning from an ankle injury. And good to see Endo back from the first team. He'll be in the starting 11 as well tonight for Toronto FC 2's final match. And Sean Hundal continuing his stunning play. 6 goals on the season for TFC II. Welcome to tonight's broadcast. It is Toronto FC 2 taking on FC Cincinnati. Gareth Wheeler alongside former Toronto FC and Canadian international player, Mr. Terry Dunfield. It's been a season that's been a little bit of a roller coaster for Toronto FC 2. A lot of disappointment, Terry. They find themselves in the bottom of the table, but coming from this final match of the season, there's something to be gained for this young team, isn't there?
Yeah, very much so. It's more about what TFC 2 can do today, and I think a lot of the young players now are developing nicely. Sean Hundal in particular, when an opportunity drops to him right now, you feel like it's going to be a goal. He's very much more economical with his running. Look for him to play off of Ben Spencer, who's going to drop a little bit deeper and look to link play.
Coming off a brace last weekend against Bethlehem. Now, Toronto FC 2, this will be their last game of the season for FC Cincinnati. They're going to the playoffs, Terry. It's just a matter of where they finish. They can finish 8th, and if former and GB Fall up front, he's the main man, the guy that we'll be looking for and looking out for over the course of 90 minutes plus tonight. It is Toronto FC 2 match day, kickoff in just a few moments time from the Ontario Soccer Centre. It's a rainy one, lucky for you. You just get to sit back and enjoy and be dry for the night. We're gonna get down and dirty here at USL Soccer on USLsoccer.com.
TFC 2 fans, are you ready for kickoff? Your TFC 2 starting 11 has some autograph t-shirts to approach the loudest fans. Make some noise!
Welcome back to the Ontario Soccer Centre in Vaughan, Ontario. The final match to be played here by TFC 2 as they're moving downtown Toronto for next season. More on that in a few moments' time. It is the last match of the season for Toronto FC 2, and their head coach, Jason Bent, has really brought in a lot of young bodies into this team. Gareth Wheeler alongside Terry Dunfield. The job that Jason Bent has done, we're going to go through it over the course of the night. And young players, and a couple making their debut tonight for Toronto FC 2, Terry Dunfield.
Yeah, Uccello, he comes back from injury. He's in the start. But look for number 18, Sean Hundle, up top to be a real force. His running in behind is really what sets off TFC 2's attack.
And we're underway here. The Ontario Soccer Centre, your match officials for tonight. Fabrizio Stasola in the middle of the park. Your linesman Chantel Boudreau and Gianni Faccini. Alexis Vaughn is the fourth official. It is rainy. It is foggy. The temperature's dropped about 6-7 degrees over the last hour, so less than ideal conditions tonight for Toronto FC 2 to finish their season. Toronto FC play in the 3-5-2 formation, just like Toronto FC does in Major League Soccer. It's one of the advantages of having the two teams play-like systems that players can come and go between the two sides, Terry, downfield, with very little adjustment needed.
Yeah, it's very important. I think defensively it's really helped TFC 2 this season. I think the wet surface, Gareth, will really help the team move that ball quickly. Look for them to play the ball out of the back very bravely, and then look to move FC Cincinnati laterally and look to open them up once they become a little bit stretched.
This field is a little bit sticky. As you take a look at Justin Hoyt, the former Arsenal product, spent many years playing throughout different divisions in English football, now calls FC Cincinnati home. He's had a very good first season at right back for Cincinnati. Quickly gets the play back underway, and the first touch on the ball for Austin Berry, a former MLS Rookie of the Year, commanding figure, big body at the back, Terry.
Yeah, they brought him in. This is his second season with FC Cincinnati. Had a very, very good season with the Chicago Fire. Played for the Philadelphia Union for a little bit. Local boy from FC Cincinnati. They really built the team in and around him.
There is a whole lot of MLS experience in this FC Cincinnati side. Jimmy McLaughlin, Corbin Bone, among the notables. FC Cincinnati on the ball on the far side of the pitch. Well read by Toronto FC. GB Fell ends up playing it back to Hoyt. Tries to switch the field of play, easily cleared by Toronto FC. Ball played straight back. That has to be a handball. Yes, it is. GB Fell, 11 goals, the leading goal scorer for FC Cincinnati. Today's match is massive for FC Cincinnati. They have clinched a playoff spot, but now it's about where they finish up in the table. Can finish anywhere between 6th and 8th, depending on the results tonight. And 8th place would leave them with a very difficult first-round playoff matchup against their rival in Louisville.
Yeah, even second, you're playing Tampa Bay. So if they can get up to 6, potentially play Charleston, much easier game other than playing Louisville or Tampa.
The 18-year-old Sean Hundell on the ball, plays it wide right. That's Dante Campbell. Tries to play the ball through the area, into the area. It's Mitchell Hildebrand coming down with the ball. The FC Cincinnati goalkeeper leading USL in saves on the season.
Hildebrand, he's had a very good season, possibly the player of the season so far for FC Cincinnati. Integral part of their run in the US Open Cup. MLS clubs are looking at him at the moment.
Good switch of play through the middle of the park. Kenny Walker missed last weekend's demolition job at the hands of the Ottawa Fury, defeated FC Cincinnati 4-0. Walker was suspended, a very important player in this team, kind of holds the midfield together. Very good patience and proper distribution of the ball.
A real industrious midfielder. Interesting story. He actually walked onto the team in 2016 in an FC Cincinnati tryout, been an ever-present in the side.
Oconee gets a touch on the ball, plays it back to the captain, Mitchell Tainter. Did have an appearance with Toronto FC in the Canadian Championships this year. It's had a very good season at the back, and Toronto FC too. I mean, some of the silver lining with this team is they've been much better defensively this season, and Tainter's been a big part of that.
Yeah, been a big part. Also, Julian Dunn. He's not playing tonight. Stepped up from the academy. He's been good. But what I would say about Mitch Tainter is there's been real consistency. You don't sometimes see that from young players. He's a very good organizer, which is very important in that central role of the back three. An
intriguing player, Rocco Romeo, playing the ball to the back as Toronto FC builds. It's Endo on the ball. Finds Liam Fraser. Oconee wide left as Toronto FC finally gets their foot on the ball, has a little possession. Ashton Morgan, over 100 appearances with Toronto FC, working his way back to full fitness. Shelley gets stuck in. Fraser now on the ball at around midfield. Finds Subasa Endo. The ball, as you can see, sticking a little bit despite the slippery conditions. Spencer looked to play it wide. Instead, it's Endo on the ball. Subasa Endo, the second-year professional, tries to slide Ben Spencer through. Doesn't work out. Ball played back to Romeo.
And that's exactly what TFC II are going to try to do tonight. Shift that ball laterally and then try to pick out Uccello or Endo in between the lines, just ahead of the defense, in behind the midfield line of FC Cincinnati.
Romeo, wide right. Another product of the Toronto FC Academy as the team continues to produce very good young players.
Rocco Romeo, he's a player who's very comfortable on the ball. You can start attacks with him. Great ball into Uccello, as you see here. It's important for a young player coming in, making his first start. That first 10-15 minutes is very good.
Right idea, good ball by Ashton Morgan. Ben Spencer needs to maybe make that near post run a little bit more, Terry, as we take a look at Alan Koch, the first-year head coach of FC Cincinnati, took over from John Harkes back in February. It's been an up-and-down year for FC Cincinnati. Struggled a little bit in league play, but made it to the semifinal of the US Open Cup.
Yeah, I think they've struggled in the league a little bit due to that run in the US Open Cup. But if you look at their team on paper, even the players not in the 11 today, you think they'd be higher up in the league than 8.
Big Ben Spencer on the ball. Well read by number 19, Corbin Bone. And FC Cincinnati clears. Danny Koenig, 10 goals on the year, brought down the ball well, and it's Bone switching the ball wide left. I have to say, really like the FC Cincinnati home and away kits. They're sharp, right? The orange, it works.
Yeah, it looks slick, and you know what, I'm impressed with both teams' start to the game, both playing at an extremely high tempo, and the wet surface here at Ontario Soccer Centre is really helping both teams ping that ball around the pitch.
Hoyt plays the ball long. GB, well brought down, cuts inside, well read by Ashton Morgan, gets a foot on that. Here's Fraser now on the ball, wearing number 63. To Endo, good patience. Ball played wide right.
Liam Fraser, he comes back into the team today. He couldn't play the last game due to yellow card accumulation. He was missed big time. Just his presence in the middle of the park, his distribution.
We'll keep our eye on the right-hand side of the Toronto FC 2 pitch. Romeo, Campbell, two very young players, not a whole lot of experience, Terry.
No, and Campbell, he's sometimes a central midfield player, but look him to get early balls into the box.
Good ball. Campbell inside the 18. That ball half cleared. That's going to run out of play for Toronto FC's first corner kick of the match. Good switch wide right.
Excellent ball movement. Cross that direct game channel extremely quickly, and that's how you're going to open up a real stubborn 2 blocks of 4 of FC Cincinnati. Great ball into the pocket to pick out Uccello, picks out Sean Hundo, who dropped deep. This time Ben Spencer went forward, and an early ball in from Dante Campbell.
Out-swinging corner kick coming. Subasa Endo to take. Right in the middle of the box. Tainter couldn't get there in time, and the ball half cleared. Uccello now on the ball. No options, has to play it back to Morgan. Switches wide right.
Delbridge is an absolute beast at the back for FC Cincinnati, the Australian, in both boxes. Good defensive header there on the corner.
It's Toronto FC 2 forced to reset. Now, don't sleep on TFC 2 tonight. They've come up with some big results in recent weeks. A big win over Louisville, a team that the previous 2 seasons has won their final match of the year. So a point to be made by this very young TFC 2 team. Endo, wide right. Campbell, good patience on the ball. Step over, a couple step overs. He's dancing. Endo now on the ball, double team, well defended by FC Cincinnati. Do you want to see Campbell get the ball in the box at that time, Terry?
No, I don't want to see Campbell force it. I thought he did well there. All of a sudden, the overload wasn't on. Good patient play, keep the ball, shift FC Cincinnati. Look, it's hard work chasing the ball. I think that's just one part of the game of TFC 2 that's really developed nicely this year, where they're not forcing things. If it's not on, come out, shift that ball to the other side of the pitch.
Shout out to the supporters who've come out to the Ontario Soccer Centre tonight in great voice. It's fan appreciation night as Uccello finds some space in behind the back line. Taking on the defender one-on-one. It's Barry standing up. Spencer almost on top of it. Endo, though, to slot the ball home into the back of the net. And just like that, Toronto FC 2 in the lead 1-0. the ball, the slippery conditions having to play a factor, but good movement by Toronto FC
All
too.
starts with this wonderful ball in behind by Ashton Morgan. Great forward run from Uccello. You think Uccello might pick out Sean Hundle, takes on the more difficult ball, picks out Spencer. Wonderful header from him, and Endo's in the right spot to tuck it home.
Hildebrand went and made that diving save. Wonder if that ball was even going to hit target. Perhaps Endo benefited from the goalkeeper keeping that ball in play. If you're going to dive, come out for a ball like that, you need to be able to push it wide.
You do, but what I love about that goal is it won the ball from Ashton Morgan, but
Yes.
Ben Spencer, a lot of the time this season I've seen Ben Spencer drop deep, look to link up play, which he's very good at. And I've been a bit critical of him for not getting in between the sticks, getting in that box where you score goals. The goal comes from him getting his head on Uccello cross, making things happen, the big man.
So Toronto FC too doing a favor to other teams in the conference if this result stays as is. FC Cincinnati finishes 8th in the conference heading into the playoffs with a very difficult first round matchup looming against Louisville. Here they come. We'll see what their response is. Jimmy McLaughlin on the ball, the Ironman of this FC Cincinnati team.
McLaughlin, he's had a good season, 5 goals, 2 assists. He's made 5 appearances for the Philadelphia Union, second ever homegrown player for the Union.
Ball played back. Danny Koenig from distance, well off target. You can see the water coming up, and what I was paying tribute to the fans because it has been absolutely pouring rain. The camera shots don't necessarily do it justice, Terry. It's been coming down heavy for hours now, and you can really see it on this shot. And watch the ball as it rolls along the pitch, like it's almost being held up by the water. It's not really draining much here up at the Ontario Soccer Center, so a sticky pitch where the ball typically isn't rolling like it normally does on turf. Endo, wide right, here's Campbell. Plays it back to the goal scorer, Subasa Endo. Has impressed each and every time he's come down to play for TFC II on the year. Akoni, nice header down to Ben Spencer. Here they go down the right-hand side. Endo with pace, plays it wide right. Brilliant ball to Campbell. Tries to find Endo back inside the 18. Well cut off by the FC Cincinnati back line. Half clearance again in TFC II back in possession. Great recovery by Liam Fraser on the ball. Spencer tries to turn, heavy touch, and that goes to Walker.
Spencer just forcing it there. He hadn't checked his shoulder. Just come back to Liam Fraser. Excellent play from him, breaking up play from deep. Dante Campbell got in behind. Great overload created by TFC II. Dante Campbell just needs a little bit of quality. Has to execute, just stand it up to the back post. In the end, it was good defending from McLaughlin.
Here's Walker. Switches it wide right. Hoyt with all kinds of space. Morgan comes to close it down. Hoyt's not sure if he's coming or going. Back to the former Toronto FC striker, Andrew Wiedemann. Delbridge around the back line. Bone. McLaughlin. Back to Bone. Good switch. Hoyt, can he angle his run properly? Gets good control. Plays the ball far post. Hangs up in the air. GB Fells in the area, deemed to have handled the ball. Toronto FC free kick coming up.
Important match minutes for Mark Pays in the net today. He's the 3rd goalkeeper on TFC's first team. Important going into the last 2 games of the MLS season. He gets important match minutes just in case, touch wood that there's an injury to Bono or Clint Irwin. I think that's why he plays tonight.
Mark Pace, a true professional in and around the training ground. Hard to find a more likable guy than Mark Pace, always concerned about the team and the young players and how they're coming along. He's been a really nice addition at the club. Here is Corbin Bone attacking with pace. Here's GB Fells, plays that wide of the post. Pace had that covered, but good burst of pace by FC Cincinnati in attack.
Yeah, Bone breaks the line by dribbling through it, finds a big man, GB. His power and pace has caused teams all sorts of problems this season. Just cuts across it, drags it, misses at the far post.
11 goals in the year from the Senegal native.
He's been all over the place. He's got 2 caps for Senegal. Was previously playing in the Kazakhstani Premier League before coming to the USL.
The KPL? Is that what they call it?
Possibly. Had 3 years at Lokomotiv Moscow as well. Well-traveled center forward.
Brilliant. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Sirius XM FC. Channel 85. Also, don't forget Sirius XM FC will air USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times.
It's going to be difficult, Wheels, for TFC II to keep this tempo up, but when they play at this high tempo, I think this is where they play their best stuff. So far, Endo and Uccello cause all sorts of problems, just playing in that pocket in behind the midfield of FC Cincinnati.
Barry to Hoyt. Ball played straight up in the air by Walker. Ball goes through the legs of Akoni, but did very well to shield his mark. Fraser.
I thought Hoyt picked the wrong option there. Kone up top and made a great run into the channel, getting that ball in midfield square. There's not a whole bunch Walker can do with other than just try to turn it around the corner. It's been an interesting season for the fullback Hoyt. He's also played right back, but he's also played at the center of a back 3 as well. Koch this season is flip-flop between a back 3 and a back 4.
Alan Koch, the former head man with Vancouver Whitecaps too, the South African, well-traveled as his Canadian A license in coaching, so
spent 7 years at SFU.
Yes.
Wheels, I'm sure you played against SFU in your university career.
Got his degree, yeah. Simon Fraser played in the U.S.
In the American League?
They played in the
that's
American League, but very familiar with West Coast football. There he is, sporting the toque. It's not that cold out tonight. It's just rainy and wet. It's just a miserable night all around. Quite mild today, 22 degrees Celsius. For American viewers, I apologize. I have no idea what that is in Fahrenheit.
Around 60, give or take.
I think it's warmer than that. It's got to be 70s.
I think 70s is shorts.
It was almost shorts weather today. Sticky mild.
Your shorts weather is another level.
Thank you. Got some great legs, Terry. That's why.
Questionable.
Romeo, big kid on the ball, isn't he, Terry? Got some size, well regarded at the club. Hundal, the 18-year-old, tries his chances from distance. Maybe not the right decision, especially when the ball's really not skipping off this turf, Terry. Yeah, it's very heavy.
He had a bit of time and space, or more time than possibly he thought. This time we saw this Ben Spencer go a little bit deeper and Sean Handel pick up that second ball. In that position, for me, drive at a defender, try to make something happen. Endo's very good at that. We've seen him do that a few times. Drive at the fullback, and then at the last minute, play it out wide to Dante Campbell. Dante Campbell and Rocco Romeo both have started extremely well in the first 18 minutes.
By the way, producer extraordinaire Kyle Hall, nobody better in the biz, tells me 22 degrees Celsius, 72 degrees Fahrenheit. So there you go.
Get your shorts on then.
Well, it's cooled down considerably, but about 16 right now. Ball played wide left. McLaughlin cuts inside. Plays the ball. Got way too under it. Elbow by Wiedemann. Caught Ashton Morgan. Ball runs out of play anyways for a Toronto FC goal kick. Good start to the match for Toronto FC too, Terry. Do you like what you've seen?
Yeah, excellent start. I like that from Ashton Morgan. That shows a little bit of experience. I think at the start of his career, he might have tried to win that header. Instead, he uses his body extremely well to just shield that ball out of play.
Ashton Morgan a little bit unlucky on this year. Not only playing behind arguably one of the top defenders in all of Major League Soccer, in Justin Morrow.
Justin Morrow being the MLS Team of the Year.
Yeah, he has to be. The defender scored 8 goals, but also he's been snake bit by injury. Here come FC Cincinnati. The ball played wide right. Good tackle. Mitchell Tainter coming over. Well read by the Toronto FC center back.
He read it extremely well. You nailed it on the head, Wheels. Initially, once the big fella, GB, picked it up in the pocket, he just dropped, he delayed, he allowed players to get back, and then he steps out when he knows he can win it, and a real tenacious, aggressive tackle from Mitch Tainter.
Send us your Toronto FC 2 questions on the broadcast. We'll do our best to answer. At Wheeler TSN is where you can find me on Twitter. I am Gareth Wheeler alongside Terry Dunfield at Terry_Dunfield on Twitter. We'll do our best to answer your Toronto FC 2 questions over the course of the broadcast. And A little bit of a scramble, some choppy stuff down there. Ashton Morgan doing well just to keep his body between Koenig and the ball. It's some veteran savvy right there, Terry, as Koenig comes right through the Toronto FC 2 left back.
Yeah, we've seen it a couple of times. Just gets his body in between the striker and the ball, and as soon as he feels that contact, he's going to go over. Every single time the referee's going to call a foul. Just going back to his season this year, it's been up and down with injuries, also the form of Justin Morrow.
Got hurt in preseason,
but what I will say, I think this 3-5-2 system really suits him down to the ground. He's a two-way player. He loves to get forward. He's got excellent delivery, a wonderful left foot. So I think possibly next season, on the back of a good preseason, we could see him push for more first-team minutes.
There is competition at that position. Raheem Edwards, a former Toronto FC 2 player from a season ago, has transitioned into that position nicely. So true competitions, not only through the first team, but Toronto FC 2 as well. And this competition's really making the entire club, really putting all the players on notice that nothing can be taken for granted.
Just going back to Raheem Edwards, I really think he's the jewel in JB's crown. He developed him very nicely over a couple of seasons in the USL, and we've seen the dividends of that in the first team right now. Real wonderful, attacking, exciting player that can play on either sides of the pitch.
Good long ball, Hoyt down this right-hand side. Morgan comes down to cut out space. It's Tainter there to head clear once again. It's only a half clearance. It's Wiedemann on the ball, finds Hoyt. Good spell for FC Cincinnati. Kennedy to Hoyt, in behind the back line. Well read, strong challenge by Akoni, and Mitchell Tainter trying to pick out Terry Dunfield here in her broadcast position. Strong challenge by Akoni.
Yeah, in this weather, that really front foot defending is what you want to see, and it galvanizes the team. At the moment, Hoyt is starting to take Ashton Morgan the other way. It's important that TFC 2 don't rest on their laurels on that 1-0 lead, that they keep that attacking, high-tempo, attacking play going. If Ashton and Morgan and Dante Campbell can take them the other way, that's where TFC 2 are doing a little bit better. It's important that they don't get pinned in.
GB over the top. Strong challenge again. Akoni, Brendan Akoni. Good start, good first 22 minutes of this match for the Toronto FC right back, or left back, I should say.
Yeah, I think the back three have done excellent. Just with Liam Fraser sat in front of them, they've done a very good job of keeping GB and Koenig out of that 18-yard box where they're so good. Both are very, very good in that 18-yard box, just on the swivel. Both classical finishers in there.
Hoyt plays into the area. GB was there. Romeo heads clear. Pollock steps up, gets on the ball. Good challenge. Cunningham, shoulder to shoulder, a little bit too much arm. Player goes down, and it's going to be an FC Cincinnati free kick.
Sometimes you'll see young players like Dante Campbell trying to come up and make an impression. You want to do that, but you don't want to absorb any undue pressure and give any unnecessary free kicks like this one.
In-swinging free kick coming inside the area. That's a good ball. Fells puts it straight up. No chance he was going to bite that.
Behave. Don't try to bite from there.
Wiedemann with the cross. Tainter there again to add that clear. Mitchell Tainter wearing the captain's armband. It's going to be an FC Cincinnati corner kick.
Good ball into the box. I'd like to see Mark Pays come for that rather than Mitch Tainter defending that on his back foot. Good header from him. If he doesn't hear a shout from the keeper, you have to deal with it as a center half.
Pollock going to take an in-swinging corner. Left foot inside the area. GB was there, well defended. Hundal gets his clearance all wrong. That's out for another FC Cincinnati corner kick.
I think it was the youth Canadian international Rocker Romeo at the back post, diligent to his job. Didn't win it cleanly, but he's done enough, went up and competed.
In-swinging corner kick taken this time by Walker. To the far post, overcooks it, and was it kept in play? No, that's out for a Toronto FC goal kick. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Tainter, back to pace. Fraser, Romeo, good touches on the ball. Fraser just A little heavy.
I like that from TFC too. It's great to try to play out, but that last ball from Liam Fraser, he just needed to skip the fullback. Sean Hundle had pulled off into an excellent position on the halfway line. Just a little bit too predictable and square from Liam Fraser.
TFC II with 53% of the possession in this match thus far, and the lone goal coming through Subasa Endo in the 10th minute of play. That's where we stand here on USLsoccer.com. Gareth Wheeler, Terry Dunfield with you. Pleasure to have you with us for this final match of the regular season for Toronto FC 2 in USL play. TFC 2 not playing like a team that's bottom of the table. There's really, during the heart of the season, Terry, just couldn't buy a goal. We saw so many performances where they were unlucky, a lack of polish, a lack of finish, and it cost them on a number of occasions. Oh, a skewed clearance by Romeo. Pace is there to take care of that.
In these extreme weather conditions, you don't need to be lashing at things. Just take your time with it. You don't have to clear it, maybe lose a little bit of distance, a bit more control.
Good ball, Morgan down this left-hand side. Hundle on his bike. Well done by Delbridge to get back the big Aussie.
I think
gets on the ball.
I think Hundle was in two minds. Good defending from Delbridge. I think Hundle initially wanted to play to Ben Spencer, who made a good run. Tries to square up Delbridge, and it's good defending from the big Aussie.
Walker. Wiedemann, sorry, make that Koenig let that ball run out of play for a Toronto FC 2 throw. You want to try to get as many touches on the ball. You don't want to let it run on this surface. It's been a difficult surface, in fairness, for Toronto FC 2 and their opponents to play on over the years. And Toronto FC 2 is now moving downtown Toronto. They're going to be playing out of Lamport Stadium, as well as BMO Field, the home of Toronto FC next season. Just moving to a preferable downtown location, more centralized, easy to keep the teams in touch with one another, as Ben Spencer's going to be cautioned. Didn't get away from the free kick.
I hate when that happens. I hate when that happens, when a player just kicks it off a player. I think the game's evolved now. There's no way Ben Spencer's going to say, yeah, here you go, take a quick free kick.
Right. And you know that the player that's taking the free kick is just taking it to get the player in the referee's book.
Yeah, not a fan of that at all.
You almost want to jump out of the way and just allow him to play it out of play. Walker, far post, flick on. Koenig cut the head of Cunningham, comes out second best. And as with any head injury, the referee going to proceed with a little bit of caution.
Yeah, I think Koenig was just trying to flick it on to McLaughlin, making an overlap. Just catches the front of Rocco Romeo's head. Sore one.
Terry, we're going to show you a replay just to get you fired up. Oh, this is actually the Koenig-Cunningham head-on-head, and that happens from time to time.
It just flicks it into actually Dante Campbell's head. Sore one.
Big man's okay. 10 goals on the year for FC Cincinnati.
Yeah, a real goal scorer. Comes alive in that penalty box. Clinical. Very good at getting on the end of things. Has a high work rate as well. Clever movement in the box.
Bone. I got to tell you, one of the best names in world football, Corbin Bone. Strong challenge. That's Delbridge getting there. Oh, he catches Cunningham. He has to go in the book, Terry. That's a late challenge as Cunningham was past the player. Desperation challenge, and he's going to be a lucky boy if he stays out of the referee's book.
Great play from Dante Campbell. Extremely proactive. He gambles. He knows that that ball might just drop there. He's already on his front foot. He's at full pace. He's athletic. He beats Delbridge to it. Easy one for the referee, Stassola.
And the card is shown. You can't have any complaints about that. Good first challenge by Delbridge right there on Spencer. And then the desperation challenge as Cunningham was up for it, read that play, just caught the Toronto FC right fullback late. Player goes down, free kick, dangerous spot coming up for Toronto FC 2.
I think Dante Campbell's enjoying himself tonight. He's
looking good.
It's great when your first couple of passes, crosses, tackles, you get right. All of a sudden, your confidence starts to grow, and I think he's really playing with his chest out. Endo, he's going to take this set piece. His set piece stuff is so good, and it's missed when he doesn't come down for TFC 2.
Absolutely. Endo on the ball, out-swinging free kick, right in the mixer. Spencer can't get there. Hundal couldn't bring that down. And the ball played right into a little bit of the supporter section there for TFC II.
Fair play to the crowd. That's no cover. It's bucketing it down out here to support their club. And some FC Cincinnati fans here made the 8-hour drive.
Brilliant.
You can just see on the left-hand corner of your screen, they've just put the flag in the holster maybe now that they're down 1-0.
Hundal, can he turn on the ball? No, he cannot. Well done by Bone. Uccello, wide right. Cunningham plays that. Can Ben Spencer get there? Goalkeeper hesitating. Back down to Endo! Tsubasa Endo with his second in the first half of play. The man can't be stopped. Through 30 minutes of play, it's Toronto FC 2, FC Cincinnati, no score.
TFC 2 are finally utilizing Ben Spencer. Dante Campbell gets his head up. I thought he just hesitated here. It could have gone in, takes an extra touch, hangs it up to the back post. Big Ben Spencer lays it back on an absolute plate for Tsubasa Endo. And when it's wet, when it's slick, you make sure you keep that ball down. Tsubasa Endo with his brace on the night.
Like that, no hesitation. Now, we watch Tsubasa Endo train with the first team on a regular basis. He is the last player off the field each and every training session. Do you know what he's doing? He's taking extra shots. He's getting extra touches on the ball. He's working with the coaching staff, and it's all paying off. Some fantastic form as Endo, 2 goals on the night in Toronto FC 2. Look at that, up 2 goals against a playoff-bound FC Cincinnati. I'll tell you what on that goal, though, Terry, maybe we can get another look at it in a few moments' time. The goalkeeper, Hildebrand, got caught up because the wind is blowing from left to right on your television screen. The ball actually got held up in the air. So with him, Hoyt, and a center back, and Barry all hesitated, leaving Ben Spencer wide open. I think Spencer was a little bit surprised that the goalkeeper didn't come out to challenge, but it's because that ball got held up in the wind.
I think it was in the air long enough where Hildebrand has to come regardless of the wind. He just got caught in 2 minds a little bit.
Ball played into the area by Hoyt. Well done by Pace. GB came in strong, but Mark Pace comes out on top in that aerial challenge. Well done by the Toronto FC 2 goalkeeper.
That's much better from Pace. His starting point was so much better. He was off his line. He was 3 or 4 yards off his line. Aggressive, positive goalkeeping from him.
We'll compare that in a few moments' time to what Hildebrand didn't do on that second Toronto FC goal as Spencer taken down. Just take another look as the ball is going to be played into the area. And Hildebrand, like, he hesitated. He was coming out, Terry, because that ball got held up in the wind. Spencer ended up in no man's land in between Hoyt, Barry, and Hildebrand. It was like the FC Cincinnati triangle right there.
Yeah, he just hesitates, and to be fair, it's a very well-cushioned header from Ben Spencer. I don't know where the marking from Bone and Walker is.
No.
Once that ball goes over top of your head in midfield, you have to track that run at Endo. But you feel like anything that drops to Endo, and possibly a big part of it is due to that training and how confident he is right now. You feel like he's going to hit the target.
Sorry, Terry. Tainter right through the middle of the park. Look at that aggression, winning the ball back. Well done, Mitchell Tainter.
He's a captain that really leads by an example, and that's a wonderful example of it.
Endo to Spencer. It's been a very good Toronto FC 2 performance thus far. To Hundal. Well defended right there by Walker, but Hundal keeps possession. Out wide to Morgan. Spencer was in behind the back line. The ball just got held up a little bit. Delbridge, half clearance, and here comes FC Cincinnati.
I think Ashton Morgan picked the wrong club there. He tried to whip it in. All he needed to do was just hang it up a little bit like what Dante Campbell did. Good look from him, though.
Wiedemann comes across field, shadowed by Fraser. Inside to McLaughlin. Some good footwork by McLaughlin. Toronto FC just dropping a little bit deeper. Willing to give him some time on the ball.
What I will say about their low block is it's low enough and it's compact enough where FC Cincinnati haven't been able to get in behind and really hurt TFC 2 so far.
Barry back to Delbridge. Inside, McLaughlin. That ball well cut down by Toronto FC 2. The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com, and then follow them on Twitter, please and thank you. You know where it is, at USL.
I'm not sure what JB's appealing for there. Liam Fraser has done such a good job of picking up second balls, reading the danger, putting out fires. That time it just bounces off Ben Spencer, but Liam Fraser's in an excellent spot to try and retrieve that ball.
Pace on Coney. Hasn't really got a touch wrong all night. Brandon Coney.
It's not easy being a right footer playing on the left side of a three either, showing his versatility tonight.
Nick Haglin's done that with Toronto FC, the Cincinnati native, by the way. Whenever we go to Ohio, Columbus, Nicky Haglin and Justin Morrow, a couple of native Ohioans, just say, oh, the air's fresher here. This is God's country, Terry.
How can they say that about when they're coming from Canada?
Nice step through by Wiedemann, straight from distance, rising and over top of Pace's goal.
Very good footwork from the ex-TFC man. Wiedemann, he picks that ball up in between the lines. Good awareness from him. He just eludes one tackle here.
Yeah, good step.
But for me, I think he's just outside his range. He's not as good from distance. He's better in and around the box.
Andrew Wiedemann, the 28-year-old, second year with FC Cincinnati.
Funny story, when Paul Mariner signed him, came into the changing room to introduce him to the players, Gareth, and then the first thing he said, he's the best natural finisher in MLS.
Wow.
So all the players started scratching our heads, and that's a bold statement when you've got Thierry Henry in the league at the time, Terry Dunfield. But to be fair, he was right. He is an absolute natural finisher.
I guess when you're Paul Mariner and you end up trading, and this is some trivia for you, the man that Andrew Wiedemann was traded for, Julian de Guzman, the Ottawa Fury head coach and longtime Canadian
Dallas.
International, was part of that trade. There's someone else in that trade as well. But Wiedemann came to Toronto.
Some money might have gone Julian's way as well.
No kidding.
Julian de Guzman, he's actually at the helm of the Ottawa Fury, and he got his first win against FC Cincinnati in the 4-0 win last week. So far, he's had 6 draws and a loss, so congrats to Julian on his first win.
Wiedemann, Hoyt. Well read by Ashton Morgan. TFC II very comfortable in their shape thus far. Jason Bent, their head coach, has to be happy. Terry, your assessment.
Yeah, this FC Cincinnati team, watching them play, they're a very possession-orientated team that likes to press high, and you've seen TFC II being very brave once they win that ball, playing out of that press. I think it's important that they keep Endo and Uccello in the game. When they're prominent and on the ball, that's when TFC II are causing problems. What I will say about the shape is their balance, their distances are spot on at the moment. It's important that they get to halftime at least 2-0 up.
52% possession for Toronto FC, 4 shots to 3, 3 shots on target. FC Cincinnati have yet to test Mark Pace and his goal thus far. We're in the 39th minute of play. Gareth Wheeler, Terry Dunfield with you. A first half brace courtesy of Subasa Endo has given Toronto FC 2 the 2-goal advantage.
What I would say about FC Cincinnati so far in midfield, it's just been a little bit too lateral, a little bit too predictable. At times they could play around the corner into their big front two.
Well read. Fraser gets stuck in. GB wins that ball back on the foot of Wiedemann. Plays it far post. Well read. Cunningham gets there. Here comes Endo. Head up. Well read. Finds Ben Spencer over the top. Gonna run a little bit long. Good composure by Hildebrand.
Just a little bit too much fade on that long diagonal. If he can get it into the channel, I think he's in.
Good ball over the top. Walker, GB. Flag goes up offside.
What I will say is once TFC II do win that ball, if they can break that initial line of pressure at the moment, Sean Hundle and Ben Spencer, you'll see they're 2v2 against the center halves. And Austin Berry and Delridge, as good as they are and as aggressive as they are as defenders, there's not a ton of pace there, is there, Wheels?
No. Pace plays the ball long. Ashton Morgan gets on the wrong side of Barry. Shout out to the FC Cincinnati supporters who made the trip up. the best supported in USL soccer over the course of this year, averaging north of 21,000 supporters per match. It's an incredible success story in North American football. Good on them, and looking forward to perhaps a little bit of a playoff run over the coming weeks. Bone, Walker, back to Bone, McLaughlin. Bone, wide left, Pollock. Toronto FC 2 just not forcing anything, just dropping a little bit deeper. Romeo, that looked like McLaughlin went down a little bit easy. Maybe a little bit of an inexperienced play by Romeo. Maybe just take a step off, Terry. Allow the player to run out of play. Perhaps that was Liam Fraser, sorry.
Yeah, it was a great forward run from McLaughlin. Liam Fraser, just a little bit too aggressive.
Feet just got caught together, didn't they?
Yeah, I thought he made it easy for Stassola to call it there. McLaughlin using that little bit of experience to feel the pressure and go over.
Free kick. I don't like when the player just plays into the mixer. I'd almost like to see the player play it short from this angle, Terry. But he doesn't have an option here. Walker on the
whatever
ball.
he does, it has to be with pace.
Into the 6, and look at that. Sonny didn't like it. FC Cincinnati loves it. Good ball by Walker as pace mixing it up with Delbridge inside the 6-yard box. Delbridge already on a caution, needs to keep his head cool because in the 42nd minute, FC Cincinnati's crept within a goal.
It was a great in-swinger ball, and this is where Koenig is so good. Almost goes up unchallenged. I think Onconi was the man who had him picked up. TFC 2 are in between a zonal and a man-Marco system. Koenig, he just goes up, wins his header, sticks it in, makes it 2-1. Pace is just trying to kick the ball away. Delbridge is having none of it.
Koenig with his 11th goal of the year, as he is one of 21 players in USL this year to reach double digits in terms of their goal tally. Big goal by Danny Koenig, and game on here at the Ontario Soccer Center. Here they come again. Inside the 18, good finish off the post. It's GB. Great composure, great body control as he opened up and played that ball off the post. Pace was beaten, couldn't beat the woodwork, Terry Dunfield.
Yeah, great ball, and again, it comes from this left-hand side. Great overlap from the fullback, Polak, and he just opens his hips up really nicely, Koenig. Sorry, GB opens his hips up. Koenig's in an offside position, that's why it's called back. Almost Thierry Henry-esque, just opens his hips up. Real difficult technique to let that body roll across you, and he uses the pace of the cross to just guide it to that off the post. Unlucky, a lot of the times you'll see that go off the inside of the post into the back of the net.
It's a great point, Terry, because typically players try to hit it with too much pace. He just used the natural pace on the ball and simply guided it towards the corner. A touch of class by GB. Unfortunately for him and FC Cincinnati, denied by the woodwork, but just moments after FC Cincinnati scores, their talisman, their leading scorer, GB, coming that close to equalizing.
Sometimes you'll see with the young side, and we've seen it a few times with TFC 2 this year, once they concede, lose a little bit of that organization. It's important that they're compact.
Hoyt,
not only through the central of the park, but also out wide.
Jason Ben, Chris Posniak and company won't be happy with that goal conceded on the set piece. When there's so many bodies in there, you need to win that ball, Terry. Right on top of the 6-yard box,
I think that
has to be yours.
At a minimum, there has to be a challenge.
Yes.
Koenig can't be having a free header. And his movement's quite clever. It looks like he's going to go in and he just steps off and heads it into the back of the net.
FC Cincinnati's been a good 5-10 minutes for them after going down 2-0.
Good defending from Romeo at the near post. A lot of defenders would have come out, looked to double team. Instead, he just takes up a good spot, marks that near post. He almost defend the front of that 6-yard box and don't let it come through.
We're in the 45th minute of play. Coney comes through the player, no call. Referee was playing advantage. I think that's the right call, Terry. Coney doesn't like it. Little dissent to the match official. Don't like that from the young player. There was some contact
I love his intensity, but this time he's a little bit slow. He doesn't get ahead of Kenrig, and he just goes through the back room. He gets a little bit of ball. Good aggressive front foot play, but
it's the right call. Absolutely is the right call. It comes through the player before getting to the ball. Pollock over the ball. It's going to be an in-swinging free kick.
It's sometimes difficult for young players to just decipher and just let the center forward have it there. He's going nowhere.
Pollock far post, not a very good ball. Knocked down. Uccello just plays that clear. We're in the 45th minute and really no time added on whatsoever. Toronto FC with that 2-1 lead after 45 minutes. The FC Cincinnati players said, hey, there should have been some more time. They're protesting with the match official, and perhaps they have a case. It's strange that there was absolutely no time added on. Your thoughts, Terry?
Yeah, with a couple yellow cards, 3 goals, you'd think there'd be at least a minute or two. The referees having none of it, but overall an excellent half for TFC II. They look slick, they look very good with their passing, playing in between the lines. I thought in particular Sean Hundel's movement was excellent, stretching FC Cincinnati in behind, creating pockets for Endo and Uccello to get on the ball. Ben Spencer has been excellent, just using his size and presence up top to knock balls back, and Endo took both his opportunities great. Jason Bent-Gareth will be disappointed to concede late on from a set piece that was unchallenged.
It's Koenig scoring late for FC Cincinnati after a first half brace from Tsubasa. Endo gave Toronto FC 2 the early advantage, and that's where we stand through 45 minutes of play. It's Toronto FC 2, FC Cincinnati 1. It's the final regular season match of the season for both sides. Second half action coming up in a few right here on USLsoccer.com. Welcome back to a wet, rainy, and stormy night at the Ontario Soccer Centre in Vaughan, Ontario. Toronto FC 2 with a 2-1 halftime lead over FC Cincinnati. Gareth Wheeler, Terry Dunfield with you, trying to stay dry. The rain's kind of coming this way.
It's awesome soccer weather, though, isn't it? Let's have it.
It's perfect. And we're being treated to quite the performance by both sides out there through 45 minutes of play. Toronto FC 2, through 2 goals by Tsubasa Endo, had that first half lead. Terry, what are you seeing out there, and how has Endo and Toronto FC 2 had so much success?
I think Endo, not only the goals, his whole performance has been excellent. His set piece delivery's been good, but where he's causing FC Cincinnati real problems is in between the lines. FC FC Cincinnati have 2 blocks of 4 like this, and his movement just in between the defense and midfield is causing all sorts of problems. Obviously, his quality and his technique once he gets that ball, and how positive he is looking to play forward and link up with Dante Campbell on the right-hand side.
Plenty of first half highlights to roll through. I mean, take your pick. Tsubasa Endo opened the scoring in the 10th minute of play, and what we've seen over the course of the night, some good service starting from the back. This time, Terry, it comes from Ashton Morgan.
I love that ball from Ashton Morgan. Good forward run from Uccello. Could have gone to Hundo, puts it into the box. Good save from the keeper, comes out to Endo. Endo's in the right spot, but look at Ben Spencer in between the sticks, causing problems, and that's not an easy finish. Real composure, he just tucks it away, trusts in his technique.
Toronto FC 2 kept on coming. Dante Cunningham, impressive in the first half of play. The ball gets caught up in the wind. No man's land finds Ben Spencer, and Endo there, Johnny on the spot, the first half brace for the second-year pro.
Yeah, for me, Hildebrandt's in 2 minds here. His little bit of hesitation. For me, he makes the wrong decision. He's got to come for it. Great cushioned header from Ben Spencer back to Endo, but it doesn't happen if Campbell doesn't put that ball into a dangerous area.
After Liam Fraser brought down McLaughlin in a dangerous spot, Walker plays it inside the 6, and it's Cody there for his 11th goal of the season.
Yeah, real good header from the Danish center forward. He's awesome in that position. He's never going to miss from there, but for me, Onconi has to do better. He has to challenge that run. He has to block it. It can't be a free header.
And then Cincinnati, just a couple more minutes later, really just 90 seconds later, it's GB going off the post. Some really great form denied by the woodwork. FC Cincinnati really came on over the last 5-10 minutes, Terry. And this game means a whole lot for FC Cincinnati, with New York Red Bulls 2 losing a little bit earlier today, 2-1 to the Rochester Rhinos. A win here for FC Cincinnati can put them all the way up to 6th place in the conference.
Which is so important. So that means they won't be playing Louisville or Tampa, who are very, very good teams in this league. I love that class from GB at the end there, just opening up his hips, using the pace of that cross to just feel it off the post.
Toronto FC 2 trying to play spoiler, and they've done a good job at that. Do they need to change anything come the second half, Terry, or more of the same?
I think they have to stay organized. It's important that they don't give away any unnecessary free kicks. That goal comes from a free kick Liam Fraser didn't need to give away. FC Cincinnati are a big physical team. Delbridge at the back coming forward. The front 2 are big bodies on set pieces, so don't give away any unnecessary free kicks, and trust in your quality, trust in your passing game. Play out of that high press, and there will be opportunities with the pace of Hundle up top, Endo breaking from midfield, Uccello, and also the quality of Ben Spencer up top.
There's no point holding back if you're FC Cincinnati. You're going to the playoffs. It's about positioning. You want to win this game. Bethlehem plays tomorrow, but put the pressure on them. So are you looking for a little bit more desperation, that kind of play from FC Cincinnati?
I expect them to play like how they ended the first half, at a little bit of a higher tempo, getting the ball a little bit quicker into their front 2 are obviously a handful. It's a tough mindset for them coming into this game. They got into the playoffs yesterday due to Orlando losing to Tampa, so all of a sudden you're in the playoffs without winning, so it's not easy to get yourself up for it, but the last 10 minutes I think they've been excellent.
It will be a little bit more of a challenge for FC Cincinnati, as they're going to be playing into the wind in the second half of play. It's Toronto FC 2, FC Cincinnati 1, the final regular season match of the season, and you're watching right here on USLsoccer.com.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
Why do you not get me?
I do. This is what it feels like for kids with learning and attention issues. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing.
I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels.
After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak.
Meals on Wheels, coming to my door as someone who's housebound, having someone check on me, assures me that I'm not forgotten.
Meals on Wheels has given me a mode of freedom that I wouldn't have otherwise.
We're the clients.
We are the clients.
We are the clients of Meals on Wheels.
America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
At halftime, welcome to our USL studios. Storylines abound in the USL as the season nears its conclusion. Record-setting attendance, just one of the many focal points that we could talk about. It's what we do talk about here. With Morgan Conklin, Mike Watts, big milestones over the weekend. At Rio Tinto Stadium, over 8,000 witnessed as the regular season championship trophy was hoisted by the Monarchs. It's just part of a larger milestone weekend for the league.
And the big story of the league is the USL crossed the 2 million in total attendance mark and became the first North American Division II league to do so.
But it's not the league that does it. It's individual teams with their fantastic fan bases, new homes. They're setting records too.
And that's led by FC Cincinnati with almost 340,000 fans at Nippert Stadium during their home games this season. Also, Sacramento Republic FC averaged a sellout crowd each home game at Papa Murphy's Park this year. Ottawa Fury FC also saw 6 figures in their season attendance.
In total, it's 2 million through the turnstiles. It's a giant increase league-wide.
An increase of 33% so far, and there's still 1 week to play.
So the story is about expansion, teams rising, teams falling, playoff hopes, some dashed, some just now beginning to find its legs. We're enjoying all the fans that have made it out so far, many more to come. For Morgan Conklin, Mike Watts for the USL Network, enjoy the second half.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color-coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Look at these very wet individuals And it's fan appreciation night. Mother Nature doesn't really care, but at least they get free t-shirts out of the deal. They get to witness what was a very entertaining first 45 minutes of football. It's Toronto FC 2 and FC Cincinnati 1. Gareth Wheeler, Terry Dunfield with you. Second half just about to get underway, but before we go any further, let's take a look at how the first half played out, Terry. FC Cincinnati, more possession, but not Toronto FC over the 45. We're much more dangerous going forward in and around the area.
Yeah, they look very good on the break. And what I will say about TFC 2's performance so far this season compared to others is they're really connecting positive passes. Very rarely have they not found a red. And I've enjoyed watching the range of passing out of the back. At times this year, they've gone back to front a little bit quick or look to overplay out of the back. I think they found a nice mix so far.
Toronto FC, or I should say Sebastian Endo with Toronto FC, has found the goal sheet more than a couple times. He's very familiar with the back of the net, and he showed that prowess here tonight. I know both goals were kind of sitters, wide open opportunities, but there was absolutely no hesitation from the playmaker.
He's been in the right place at the right time, and the timing of his run into the box has been excellent, and he's really executed. I think he's playing in his best position, which is that attacking midfield role. He's got the freedom to break forward from there, even run past the strikers at time. I think he's been excellent so far tonight.
Danny Koenig has scored the goal for FC Cincinnati. I think they just need a little bit more cutting edge in the attacking third, Terry. They've done well possessing the ball, building it up, but have run out of ideas at times where Toronto FC's drop back deeper. A lot of bodies in the mixer. FC Cincinnati just needs to move the ball a little bit quicker as they move forward.
Yeah, they're playing a little bit narrow at times. They need to get the ball out wide. When you play against a 3-5-2 system and you're playing 4-4-2, your overload's out wide with your fullbacks and your wide midfielders. They've looked very dangerous with Polak and McGoughlin. They've linked down the left-hand side, and Polak's got forward.
Alan Koch, the FC Cincinnati manager, is elected to go with 4 at the back tonight. He's been playing with some 3-4-3 over the course of the season. Do you change things at all here? Maybe give Toronto FC 2 a different look in the second 45?
Potentially. He's got some quality to come in off the bench, including Dominguez, a player from FC Montreal, Canadian player. But at the moment, I think he'll be happy with the way the team finished. The last 10-15 minutes, they were really taking the game in waves to TFC 2.
Looks like they're still in this 4-4-2 with Polak and Hoyt as the fullbacks, Barry and Delbridge in the middle, with Walker basically sitting on the back 4. Tainter, strong first half by the TFC center back. Fraser to Uccello.
I was just going to say Liam Fraser in the middle of the park. He's quietly had a very good game. I think he's been extremely disciplined. He's always been in the right place at the right time. He's protected a nice screen to the TFC 2 back 3. They've also got Kyle Gregg, Whitecaps player on loan, a player Koch will know well from his time at Whitecaps 2. He's a big, strong, physical player, real presence up top. You could put him up top with GB and Koenig either side of him if he wants to really change things and go with the front 3.
Final half of football for Toronto FC 2 season. A big half of football for FC Cincinnati, which will determine what spot they finish in the conference and who they will face in the first round of the USL playoffs. Ball played deep. Straight back to the goal scorer for Toronto FC 2. It's Sebastian Endo. Plays Fraser to trouble. Fraser said, come on, man, you need to give me a chance here. Here's Walker. Good find. McLaughlin down the left-hand side. 1-1 with Romeo. Good block by the academy product of Toronto FC. You were impressed with this player for the first half, Terry.
Yeah, he's helped TFC to play out of the back. He's very comfortable on the ball.
Bone to Wiedemann on top of the 18. Strike, that's Koenig, sorry. Off the bar, off the back of the goalkeeper, somehow stays out. Danny Koenig that close to his second goal of the night.
What a strike from Koenig. Great ball in between the lines from Polak. Koenig, sorry, it's Bone that plays the ball between the lines. He just peels off in the back 3, finds a little bit of space, but with hardly any backlit, he just drives through the back of the ball, hits the crossbar, could have gone off the back of goalkeeper Mark Pays into the net. TFC 2 get a little bit of luck.
Goes off his back. I think that went off bar, back, post, and somehow stayed out. Polak plays that high to the night sky. Well done by, I believe that's Romeo, to rise above and clear that for Toronto FC 2.
Wheels, that's the ball I'm talking about from the midfielders, playing in between the line, getting it into their front 2. Great forward pass.
Strong
pick
challenge.
out.
Sorry, Terry. Strong challenge by Tainter. Continue.
Just going back to the point, it was a great ball forward from Bone from midfield.
Good turn on the ball by Danny Koenig. 11 goals on the year. Shoulda, coulda, would have had number 12 there, and that would have been a big goal for FC Cincinnati. A big start to the second half, threatening here early after scoring that late goal in the first half. In the 41st minute, it was Koenig, and GB played it off the post in the 42nd. Here they come again. Koenig back heel. McLaughlin gets it on his right foot. Test pace. Can't control that. Akoni there to clear. Nervous start to the second half for Toronto FC too.
McLaughlin, he's picked the ball up in a couple dangerous areas. The difference between this time and the first one is Dante Campbell let him come into his right foot. I thought Rocco Mayo did really well to just block that near post, keep him on his left foot. Dante Campbell has to keep him coming out wide.
Bone, big challenge, winning the ball from Endo. Here's Koenig, back to Walker. Cincinnati coming in waves. Ball played wide left. It's McLaughlin on the ball again. One-on-one on Campbell. Endo's there to help out. Back on the foot of Walker. Has a man to his wide left. Endo cuts that out. Bone lays it off. Walker, good strike! And it goes into the back of the net. No space. Uccello all over him. It doesn't matter. Walker equalizes the game here in the 50th minute. That was an absolute jackhammer of a strike.
Really good individual goal. Watch it come back to Walker. Plays a little 1-2 around Uccello. The back line's way too deep. They need to be stepping out. Once Uccello's beat, someone needs to confront him, whether it's Liam Fraser. But what a strike from Walker. I don't want to take anything away from him. He almost pings it into the bottom corner, picks up pace. It just skids off the surface, leaves Pays no chance. I think Pays' starting position was excellent. Just a wonderful individual strike from Walker in midfield. Love the little 1-2 as well before the goal.
Kenny Walker suspended last weekend, straight back into the team, showing his importance here right away. FC Cincinnati, I mean, if the game was back on before the half, I mean, it's really on now. FC Cincinnati really gained control of this match. We're 2-2 with 40 minutes plus remaining here at the Ontario Soccer Centre.
Wonderful 40-yard diag from Romeo.
Barry gets there before Uccello. Let's see how a very young Toronto FC 2 team does with a little bit of adversity here. Difficult conditions, difficult opponent, difficult night. Nothing's come easy all season long for Toronto FC 2. Why would things be any different here in the season finale? Tainter skips past GB. Two men on him. Tainter cuts between two FC Cincinnati defenders. He continues on. Hundle was there in the box. Tainter was surrounded.
Mitch Tainter almost goes beast mode, a little bit like Josie Altidore. So difficult to stop.
He was like a running back in American football there. Here's McLaughlin the other way. End-to-end stuff. Trips over his own feet.
I'm not sure what.
Can't be looking for a call there, son.
I'm not sure what Koenig's appealing for there. Here we see the big fella, Mitch Tainter, get forward. Watch his quick feet here. Gets in between the two defenders. See you later. Just looking for someone to lay the ball off to. And in the end, FC Cincinnati collapsed in and around the box extremely well.
This game's really opened up here. McLaughlin, all kinds of space down this left-hand side. DeGB gets stuck in again. Who else? The captain. El Capitano, Mitch Tainter.
Yeah, Mitch Tainter's been excellent tonight on both sides of the ball. Nice step up.
McLaughlin again, good strike from distance. Really good effort by Jimmy McLaughlin. Because at the very least, you're testing the goalkeeper, Terry.
Especially when you shoot across a keeper like that. It gives the strikers an opportunity to get a foot on it.
Yes.
When the kitchen's sinking, everything's being thrown at you like it is right now for TFC 2. It's important you just try to take the sting out of the game. How do you take the sting out of the game? By passing that ball. Keep the ball. You don't have to go forward at all times. Sometimes just come back. Keep that ball. Connect a few passes.
At times like this, you need your fullbacks in Morgan and Campbell just to tuck in a little bit more, give the back three a little bit more support. It's not there right now. McLaughlin's running free down this left-hand side. Well done by Ben Spencer, playing out wide to the aforementioned Campbell. Hundle in a battle. Delbridge gets there, gets a foot on it. Remember, Delbridge and Ben Spencer, both on cautions, both seeing yellow in the first half of play. McLaughlin up into the night skies. The rain continues to fall. Here's Hundo over the top. Oh, it's Hildebrand caught off the line, and he does it again. Vroom, vroom, Hundo back in the net. Goal number 7 of the year. And just like that, Toronto FC 2 back in the lead.
What a ball from Onconi. Mitch Taintor tries to take it out of the air. Onconi, I'm telling you, he picks him out. Sean Hundo's on the shoulder of Polak, sits up nicely for him. He's confident, he takes it on the hop, just puts it over top of the on-rushing Hildebrand. Nothing Hildebrand can do, kind of caught in no man's land. He should have stayed. Sean Hundo punishes him.
Not bad for an 18-year-old, Terry. Hundo continues to impress. 2 goals last week, another one tonight. And here in the 54th minute, Toronto FC 2 back in the lead.
Great ball from young Onconi as well. Picks him out. The movement from Sean Hundo's good as well. He just pulls off of the shoulder. The center half, Delbridge, gets in between Polak. And Onconi puts it on a dime for him. It sits up nicely, backs his technique, and just lifts it over top of Hildebrand.
As I mentioned,
that's not a bad response, is it?
No, that's the response you want to see. Hundo with his 7th of the year, like I said, but that's 13 in his 2-year Toronto FC 2 career. That is tops in Toronto FC 2's very young club history.
And to push yourself into Greg Vanney's plans, look, it won't be easy to break into TFC's.
18, yeah.
You're only 18, but you've got to score goals to make an impression. And 7 goals isn't a bad haul. It's been a difficult season for him. He had a long injury during the middle of the campaign.
Walker, in-swinging corner kick. Toronto FC 2 slow to react. Koenig was right there. Uccello, Johnny on the spot, able to clear. Here's Hoyt. Does he put it right back into the mixer? He does not. Delbridge, good decision. Wide right. Ball comes off. Looks like Uccello and Taintor cannot keep it in. Taintor, the painter, was painting that line. Couldn't keep it in. Here's another FC Cincinnati corner kick. Taintor's been very good on the night. Needs to hold on, needs to keep his back line sharp here, show some leadership.
He just eludes confidence, doesn't he?
Yes,
loses confidence to young Onconi and Romeo. The great player to play alongside.
Polak plays that high into the sky. Well done, Romeo. He gets there first. Hundo there, no. Tsubasa Endo caught that right in the side of the head. Nothing he could do, couldn't get out of the way. Walker tried to hit it on the volley. Endo, no time to react.
Yeah, Walker
That's
just
a tough one for Tsubasa Endo.
Walker, no intention, just drills. He's trying to ping it out wide to Polak, right in the mush. I like that from Walker, though. A lot of players would have just played on. Goes over to make sure he's okay.
When you get smoked in the head like that, you end up with Dunfield face. That's what they call it. A face only your mother can love, right?
Oh, cheers, mate. That's why I'm on radio.
Well, you're actually on TV right now.
Thanks for the heads up on that.
Tsubasa Endo, I mean, he's a stylish guy. He could have a modeling career if he wasn't such a good footballer. Oh, right there. Dunfield face.
It doesn't catch him square on. It just catches him on the corner of the temple there.
Look at that. No worse for wear. 2 goals tonight. Ball in the face. Keeps on going. Tsubasa Endo, ladies and gentlemen.
And there's still a lot of football to go with the first team. 2 league games left, potentially 5 games in the playoffs. He could be needed at some point. So just a performance like today, just kind of giving manager Greg Vanney and his coaching staff just a little poke in the back, saying, you know what, if need be, I'm ready to go, coach.
Scott hitting us up on Twitter at WheelerTSN, at Terry_Dunfield, asking you, Terry, which Toronto FC 2 players may work their way into Greg Vanney's plans with Toronto FC next season. I mean, Tsubasa Endo has to be front and center in that conversation.
Yeah, and I think Endo's, we've already seen that he can make that step up into the first team. It's very difficult for him to get into that midfield role. There's so much quality with Victor Vasquez, Jonathan Osorio, Marky Delgado. So it's tough to get time in that position when the team's winning most weeks. You don't really, Greg's kind of stuck with 8 or 9 guys. They've played a boatload of the minutes, so it's not been easy to break in. I think Mitch Tainer could possibly see some minutes next season.
Hoyt into the area, and there is Tainter.
And I'd like to see Sean Hundo possibly in a Canada Cup game, possibly get some action. Again, it's not an easy quartet to break into with Josie Altidore, Javinko.
He's competing with the guy that he's up front with tonight in Ben Spencer. And Jordan Hamilton, who all he's done when he comes down to TFC II is score goals. So there's some real competition. A lot of good young Canadian players
but now,
as well.
I think Sean Hundo comes into that conversation now that he's scoring goals.
Polak plays that high again. He keeps on playing them high, Terry. Just wonder if you prefer the player to drive that ball a little bit more.
Yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more pace on it, like we saw on the goal, that in-swinging free kick that the center forward, Koenig, tucked away. That was a little bit flatter with more pace. That's difficult to defend.
Stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mr. Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Sirius XM-FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM-FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. It's a great name for a man on radio. Mike Watts.
I hope he can live up to your introduction, by the way.
Of course he can.
Mike Watts.
Here's Justin Hoyt. Arsenal, his former club. Oh, lost at the death today to Watford. Tommy Boy cleverly with the big goal for the Hornets. They're up to 4th place in the Premier League table. Here comes GB.
Any opportunity to get an ex-Man United player.
You got it. McLaughlin plays it short. Wiedemann back out wide. McLaughlin's been very good this half. Tainter, well done, rises up. Pace nailed to his line. Having a few words with GB. GB's in an offside position. Did he catch it in the ribs from Pace?
Yeah, I think he stopped Pace for coming for it. I think Pace wanted to come. GB does just enough to stop him. Another great header from Mitch Tainer.
McLaughlin pulling the strings again. Endo holds him up. Campbell out to challenge Wiedemann. What happened? Pushing and shoving in the box. Looked like GB took a cheap shot as a Toronto FC player down on the pitch. Looks like Ashton Morgan. GB was upset about contact between him and the goalkeeper, Mark Pace. Did he take it out on Ashton Morgan? We're going to take another look. The match official taking a look at this situation. We're going to take a look at what happened moments before as Pace coming out for the ball. GB gets caught up, gets a little bit of an elbow, and GB has a few words with Pace, say, keep your elbow away from me. In fairness, that's the goalkeeper's area. That is his spot. I think he can command that box as is.
I think JB's just overreacting. You've got to expect some contact in the box, and it's nothing malicious from Pace.
Well, the referee Fabrizio Stalsola, the linesman Gianni Francini on the far side, they didn't see anything in terms of Ashton Morgan. We'll see how it played. Well, this is after Morgan's on the ground, but pushing and shoving. Unconi definitely saw something. So did Tainter. I'm surprised that the referee didn't make a call here. Comes Toronto FC 2 the other way. Hundle into the area. Oh, he makes a meal of it. Pollock bailed out. Uccello comes through the player. I think FC Cincinnati let off the hook.
I think what Mitch Tainer's appealing to the referee, Sola, is the fact that Koenig caught Ashton Morgan with an elbow. You can see Jason Bent off his bench.
Or was it GB?
I think it was Koenig catches him with an elbow. And I can tell you one thing about Ashton Morgan and his character. He's a very honest professional. He's not going to go down if there's not contact.
Yeah. It was behind the play as McLaughlin, he's just been so impressive, was doing work down this left-hand side. I was focused on that. Meanwhile, inside the area, clearly something went down. It's 3-2 for Toronto FC, 62nd minute. Gareth Wheeler, Terry Dunfield with you. Here's Andrew Wiedemann, shoots from different distance. Guess who's there to block? Tainter. Spencer, good turn. Finds Endo a little bit too much as he had Uccello on the run, and Hundle picked neither option and the ball given away. McLaughlin, he's done everything in the second half. Well done. Puts Campbell on toast. And a free kick from a very dangerous spot. Campbell's like, where do you want me to go, Mr. Referee? But McLaughlin with some very nice footwork to get past the defender.
Yeah, McLaughlin just a little step over, squares Dante Campbell up, just slips it through his leg. Great little technique. It's important that Dante Campbell's in that crouch side-on position, way too square. Little nutmeg and brings him down, can't get out of his way.
Those are Terry Dunfield type feet on a Saturday night.
You mean Dante Campbell rooted there?
No. I've seen you bust your moves, Terry. And did it on, for many years, in the Premier League, across English football, Toronto FC, Vancouver Whitecaps, representing Canada.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Brilliant player.
Trying to make up for the face comment.
I know. You might not be pretty, but you're pretty good on the field.
Oh, my day.
It's going to be Walker over the ball, the goal scorer. He made it 2-2 earlier in the second half. Does he try an effort, Terry? Instead plays it wide, knocked down Delbridge, back into the mixer, well done, well read by Romeo. It's called a corner kick. Toronto FC 2 don't like that. I think it came off of Wiedemann.
No, it was harsh. Nice set piece from Koch, just hangs it up to the back post to try to score on the second phase.
Walker again inside the area, well done by Romeo. Delbridge back inside. Fraser clears, and Hundle plays it to midfield out for an FC Cincinnati throw.
Anywhere will do it. It's okay. Sometimes you just need to put it into Rosette. Been impressed with Rocco Romeo in the air. He's been very good.
He's a big boy, isn't he?
Yeah, and at times I've seen him play in the academy, and he doesn't use that size and presence.
McLaughlin. Hoyt. Back inside. Jimmy Mack. Oh, another player, GB, took down Tainter in the area. Tainter's on his knee, was rolling around. The referee's got to get this under control because GB's looking like another cheap shot on a Toronto FC 2 defender.
Yeah,
Gonna start keeping my eye on that, Terry, because that's two very honest players going down. Tainter grabbing his nose. We'll see if it was intentional or not. Tainter coming through the player. I mean, there's something going on there. You just don't see two players away from the play just drop. Pace plays that up to midfield. Endo gets there. Here's Spencer now on the ball. Uccello wide left. Skips past Austin Berry, the Cincinnati captain. Plays it back to Morgan.
Good ball from Ashton Morgan.
Fraser, far post. Oh, Spencer brings that down. Didn't expect the ball to get past Polak.
Right idea from Ben Spencer to take a touch there. Just couldn't keep his feet.
Walker, McLaughlin. He's been very good in this second half. A true difference maker. Takes it wide left. Romeo can't keep him outside. And it's GB into the back of the net. It's Jimmy Mack pulling the strings. Goal number 12 on the season for GB. And just like that, the counterattack burns Toronto FC 2. We're all square at 3 apiece.
McLaughlin does excellent in transition. I love the quality at the end of this long run. A lot of players would try to shoot. He's got the composure to put it across. GB makes that near post run, gets ahead of Mitch Tainter. That'll hurt Mitch Tainter. He's just caught him with potentially an elbow, and now he just nips in front for the equalizing goal.
Good learning experience for Romeo there as well. If you force the player outside, you just need to get that leg over, deny the service into the 6-yard box, near post run.
I don't know whether he was worried about conceding possibly a penalty. He keeps his feet. So far, his defending's been so good. He's got to stop that cross of McLaughlin.
Well, there might be some controversy here. We're going to check out to see what happened a few moments earlier when Mitch Tainter went down, was in the area, and GB was central all that.
If you look in your top right-hand corner, you can see GB and Mitch Tainter come together.
Just pushed him away.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough in it for possibly a yellow or red.
Right.
I think he was just pushing off him to try to create a little bit of space.
Andrew Wiedemann, the former Toronto FC player, coming off the field. How'd you assess Wiedemann's performance tonight, Terry?
I think he's done okay. I think he's played out of position, playing on the right-hand side. I think he's at his best when he plays up top. He's been in and out of the side this season. He's made a lot of appearances off the bench. Didn't really have an opportunity in the box. He had that one shot from distance.
Daiquiri's coming in for FC Cincinnati here in the 68th minute. It's 3 apiece, Toronto FC 2 and FC Cincinnati. A win for FC Cincinnati would catapult the side from the Queen City into 6th place in the conference, which would completely change the complexion of the playoff picture.
And not only are you're playing a third place team now, but you're coming into the playoffs with a little bit of form as well, which is so crucial.
Well, coming off of a 4-0 defeat last weekend too.
But if they can get over the line here, get another one, or even a point and build up a little bit of a streak, Wheels, as we see a lot of the time the hot team going into the playoffs is the team that does extremely well. As you said, though, and alluded to, a good reaction from a 4-0 defeat just down the road in Ottawa.
So Kadeem Dakers comes into the game for FC Cincinnati. We'll see if he can be a difference maker here. Still no changes yet for Toronto FC 2 and Jason Bent. That's the first substitution made in tonight's match. Tainter steps through.
Great ball.
Over the top. Wonderful service. It's Hundo. Can he get there? He's ahead of Barry. Pushes him off the ball. No call. Is that the right play or the right decision by the referee, Terry?
I think Barry does extremely well. He takes the quickest line back to goal. Sean Hundo's trying to get across him. He's just not able to.
Oh, but the referee gives it the other way. It's Dakers going down. That looked shoulder to shoulder on Coney. He's whistled for the foul on Dakers. For me, Terry, if you're going to give it a no call the one way, you got to give it the no call the other way.
It was a great ball in behind from Mitch Tainter. Sean Hundo's working so hard to get across Barry.
Little push off. His arm was extended.
Nah, it's not a foul for me.
Well,
but this
is
one,
a foul?
On second look, I think it is. I think there's just enough contact to call a foul.
Well, I don't know how much contact there is.
He doesn't get any of the ball.
The fact that he came from behind. That's what it's more.
When you just dangle your foot in there, you've got to get the ball. I think the referee, and I hate referees, he gets it right.
Free kick coming up. Pollock runs over the ball. Delbridge.
Behave.
Into the night sky. Field goal good. Sign him up for the Cincinnati Bengals.
He steps up like Robert Huth. Tries to absolutely welly it into the back of the net.
Welly it. Define welly it.
I think putting your foot through it, and I think he was looking for that knuckleballer, and he just gets underneath it, and the sky's over. I like the Cincinnati Bengals shout.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com.
Just went out of the club survivor pool last weekend.
Fraser overcooks it a little bit. There's goals to be had here. I mean, Hildebrand leads USL in saves on the season, but in all 3 goals, he was front and center. He was caught in no man's land on the last 2, Terry, so he's a goalkeeper who has been a little bit erratic tonight.
Yeah, and I think on the first one, he just tries to overread it,
yes.
and he almost jumps beyond the ball, which gives the rebound to Endo. I like how positive he is on the third one, but it just sits up nicely on this turf for Hundo to put it over top of him.
Good ball down the right-hand side. Here's Hoyt. Oof. Got out the 9-iron on that one. McLaughlin, though, can't get his foot around that one.
I think that's the first mistake McLaughlin's made all night. Tries to put his foot through that rather than just kind of bending it and passing it into that far corner. Good knockdown from the big fella up top, GB.
Hard crowd here tonight. I mean, these are true supporters for both sides out here at the Ontario Soccer Centre. As we say thank you and goodbye to this facility in Vaughan, just north of the city of Toronto, as Toronto FC 2 making the move downtown to Lamport Stadium as well as BMO Field. They'll split their games at the 2 facilities, which are really next door to one another next year. More on the importance of that in a few moments. Here's McLaughlin on the ball. Has an option to his left. Instead, takes it inside. It's Tainter there to half clear.
Wrong decision from McLaughlin. Polak made a great overlap. Just go commit Campbell and then ping it out wide to Polak.
Polak, good left foot, swings that in. Pace is there. Well done by the goalkeeper.
Good football all the way around. Great quality from Polak. Wonderful left foot. And nice positive goalkeeping from Pays off his line. When it's wet like this and you're at full reach, don't take any chances. Just punch it clear.
Campbell might have to come off, stretching his calf, maybe cramping up a little bit. Ball played inside the area. It's Pays, slow to react. Gets the job done, though. Toronto FC 2 goalkeeper getting on top of that.
It's a great ball in behind from Walker. He's really stepped his game up in the second half. Real driving force in the middle of the park for FC Cincinnati. His passing range has been much better, more positive in this second half.
Onconi. Romeo. Uccello finally finds some time and space in the middle of the park.
Just on a different page to Hundo. Hundo wanted to run in behind. Uccello was looking for a little 1-2 there.
Good ball. Romeo gets there ahead of McLaughlin. Alan Koch.
No nonsense defending
happy with his team, Terry.
No nonsense defending from Romeo, and I get that. Don't take any chances, but I think a shout from Pays, go back to your keeper there. He had enough time, and he's got enough quality as well to go back to Pays.
There will be a substitution, as looks like the quad of Dante Campbell has been troubling him. There's going to be a substitution made. Chris Posniak giving instructions on the sideline. Campbell's just kind of run out of steam. Thought he was very good in the first half, Terry.
Yeah, I think McLaughlin has really stepped his game up in the second half. I think he's done a good job against a very experienced player in the second half. I think Campbell and Romeo have both been excellent. They've worked well as a pair. Campbell's at his best, so when he's going forward, going the other way, it's important when you're playing against a good player to try to take him the other way, especially against an attacking player. McLaughlin, he's not going to want to defend. Versatile player as well, Dante Campbell. For me, I think he's more of a 6 or an 8 as his career develops. I think you'll see him more in the middle of the park.
Campbell's coming off the field. It's going to be number 55, Aiden Daniels, replacing Campbell here in the 75th minute.
What I think will happen is Aiden Daniels, he'll go into the middle of the park where Sebastian Endo plays, and Endo, he might slide out to this wing-back role.
Interesting. It's where Endo has played at times for Toronto FC in Major League Soccer play. Polak with a short throw, almost looked like a foul throw.
We saw him early in the year. Was it Philadelphia away? He played in that wing-back role.
He did. The Canadian Championship as well. The ball skips over. GB can't get his head around that. It's one of those where the wet ball comes off the wet player and skips high, and it was almost served up to GB on a platter.
Yeah, the ricochet plays into his favor. Just gets inside of Onconi, gets a run on him. Watch this little ricochet. Again, McLaughlin pulling the strings. Ricochets off of Uccello. For me, he's got to go with his left foot. I'd love to see players go with their head, but he just needs to swivel his hips and go for a left foot volley.
Daniels with his first touches on the ball. Uccello, wide right to Endo. Skips past Polak. Good work by Endo down the right. Daniels, first touch, lets him down, ball out of play.
Probably the one player on the pitch you don't want it to drop to. He's just come off the bench. It's not easy coming up to the tempo. Great quality from Endo.
Onconi plays the ball to the far post. Polak has all the time in the world to bring that ball down in a very dangerous spot. Tainter, or make that Fraser, wins that physical battle. Spencer, yes, Hundle finally gives it to him a little bit wide. Oh, that's a... Delbridge goes down. If you're Hundle, you need to see that contact and go down.
Oh, just
Terry's.
I've seen it. We're both looking at each other here now. For me, I thought Ben Spencer just delayed the pass a little bit. Sean Hundle did a great job of staying onside.
Too honest.
But watch this. As soon as Delbridge goes down, just lift it over top of him.
Take a touch.
And then as soon as there's that contact, it's got penalty written all over it.
If Hundle takes a touch there,
just
that
lift
is
it over
danger zone for a penalty and a player who's on a yellow card. What a great chance that was for TFC II. Quick off that free kick. It's Fraser finding Daniels on the gallop. Tries to play it through to Spencer. Maybe wanted to wait another moment for Ashton Morgan. Now Ash has caught up the field, and here comes FC Cincinnati. Well done by Uccello.
Good interception from Austin Berry.
So the pace has really picked up here over the last couple minutes. Here's Endo. What option does he have? Hundle checks to his right. Polak comes down. McLaughlin coming to double team. Endo, well, kind of lost his balance, and Corbin Bone benefits. Here's the best player on the field tonight, in my opinion, Terry. McLaughlin hasn't scored, but has been an absolute menace. Plays it inside. Koenig, wide right. Dakers, shot blocked by Onconi. The game being stretched a little bit now, Terry. That's dangerous for both sides.
Yeah, it's wide open. Both teams, I love it. It's great for the neutrals. They'll be driving their coaches nuts. Both looking for a winner right now. TFC II really at the races if they can beat that initial press. All of a sudden, they're at the back two of FC Cincinnati, getting very little protection.
Playing for a draw doesn't do much for FC Cincinnati, in fairness. Dakers, as Bethlehem plays tomorrow, you win tonight. You force Bethlehem to win, pick up the full 3 points tomorrow. If not, FC Cincinnati moves into 6th place. Uccello.
Ben Spencer just needs to come over. You can see him at the bottom of your screen there. Center forward just playing a little bit too far apart from one another.
Substitutes available for Jason Ben include Eckenrode, Anthony Osorio, Noble Ukello, who made his professional debut last week.
Another academy
Trebelli,
product.
and Malik Johnson. $11 minutes plus time added on to go. We're right smack on the 79th minute. Gareth Wheeler filling in for Matt Nicolantonio. Nailed it.
I knew you were going to say that.
Did he not show up today because he knew it was going to rain out? We were soaking wet. My laptop is absolutely ruined.
No, he's a bit of a diva, isn't he?
That's okay. Does it work in the rain?
It's in his contract.
We'll wish him Matty D all the best. We miss him out here tonight. You know that he wanted to be here for the final match of the Toronto FC 2 season. Here's Daniel sliding it through to Hundle. Overlap right there, Ashton Morgan. Need to give Morgan the ball, get him involved a little bit more. Fraser.
At some point, that's a good point, Wheels. You just need to reward your wingbacks for making those runs. Otherwise, at some point, they'll stop.
Good touch, Uccello to Endo. Plays it into the area, well cut down. I believe that's by Bone. Dakers. Acres of space in front of Dakers.
Great run from Ashton Morgan. He's made 3 or 4 of those just recently. Hasn't been rewarded with the pass. He's gone forward, but he's shown his fitness. He's shown his willingness to work for the club, and he's made 2 or 3 excellent recovery runs, all of 40, 50, 60 yards for the club.
Kyle Gregg coming on, a player that you're familiar with. It's been a controversial night for this man. GB hit the post, did score a goal, number 12 on the year, that leads the team. His night is done. Kyle Gregg coming into the game, Terry.
Yeah, GB, just an absolute handful. You get a little bit of everything with him. You're not too sure what he's going to do next, which makes him difficult to defend. He's got a real presence up top. Unlucky to hit the post on the one. He opened his hips up, showed a little bit of class, got his goal getting ahead of Mitch Tainer. I'd like to see that one again where possibly a flailing elbow catches on Coney.
Polak. Koenig, as the rain continues to come down here at the Ontario Soccer Center. McLaughlin inside on that right foot again. Plays it past the far post. Toronto FC need to start forcing him wide, Terry. He's a right-footed player playing on the left-hand side, and he's coming and cutting inside at will. As a player, don't you just need to force him wide, try to take him somewhere else?
A little bit. It depends how you play the system. I think TFC II play the system where their wingbacks show the players into the bodies. What needs to happen is Uccello, that inside midfielder, just needs to release himself, come in and give Endo just a little bit of protection. It can't always be the holding midfielder, Liam Fraser, coming over.
Toronto FC in action tomorrow. They take on their rival, the Montreal Impact. Good flick on as FC Cincinnati threatens to get big challenge by Onconi. Oconey's been there all night long. Dacre's now on the ball. Cincinnati coming in waves. It's Hoyt, and guess who's there again? Brandon Oconey. Strike from distance again. Walker. That wasn't going to happen twice, was it? Solid strike, though.
Yeah, we see him on his left Duke this time. I'm not sure it was coming back. Another big block from Mitch Tainer. Gregson's coming on. He's come straight into the game. His physical presence and hold-up plays been on show.
McLaughlin steps inside again. Dacres.
Okay, good.
Tries to flip it over the top. Endo's there to read that play, getting to the ball ahead of Greg. Bone. Dacres steps over the ball.
I don't like that little trick where you roll your foot over the top of the ball. Exposes too much of the ball to the defender.
Especially on this turf, because it doesn't roll. No. It stays behind you.
No. It might look $1 million, but for pure soccer enthusiasts, it doesn't really do anything. There's no end product to it, in my opinion.
Sam DeWitt about to check in for FC Cincinnati. Ball played to the far post. Heads it across the 6. Is it a penalty? Mitch Tainter says, get up, son. No penalty given.
It was a great header on the back post, just to get his head on it.
Uccello to Hundle.
Koenig. Mitch Tainer uses his body really well on Greg.
Uccello. Switch to Daniels, play it wide. There you go. Ashton Morgan finally getting a touch on the ball. Deflects. Ball comes down to Hundle. He can't control. Fouls Delbridge, and it's going to be a FC Cincinnati free kick.
It's actually not
after this substitution
is made. It's not a bad foul from Hundle. It just breaks up the attack. It's another great ball from McLaughlin to the back post, and Mitch Tainer just does enough to put Greg off. Doesn't let him get in front of. Not a penalty for me. Good defending. Also a good run from Greg.
Well, the captain, Austin Berry, he comes off. DeWitt coming into the game. What does this mean, Terry? A little bit of a change of formation.
Yeah, we might see a back three right now.
Captain's armband passed off.
No, it looks like DeWitt's going to go into right center half.
Well, looks like a little bit of a conversation. I wonder if Hoyt pushes up or Polak pushes up. Interesting change. If it's not a change of formation, it's like for like. I didn't see Barry dealing with any sort of injury coming off the field, so an interesting change, Terry. Here's Greg. Endo closing down the space, plays it inside. Well done to Bone. Can't find Walker, and Daniels is there. Well done by Spencer.
Yeah, very clean. Good hold-up play from Spencer.
There you go, Morgan. Great ball to Hundle. Skips past Delbridge. Hundle on the ball. What can he do with it? Shoots from distance, deflects. Uccello frustrated.
Yeah,
wanted the ball on that right-hand side.
I can feel his frustration as well, but Hundle, he's in form right now. It was a great run in depth from him. Gets a bit of luck, but sometimes you just need to let that play develop. Uccello taking up a great spot on the right-hand side.
Polak.
Greg's looked good since coming on for FC Cincinnati. Here he is on it again.
Ball played inside the area. Kone can't get there. Dacres can't get there, but Ashton Morgan can. Oh, just played a little bit behind Hundle. You almost want the striker to check in a situation like that. Yeah. The instinct says go deep, but make it easier on the player.
No, it was a little bit of a tired pass from Ashton Morgan.
Hoyt. Cuts inside. Walker. Someone needs to step out. Plays it over the top. Wonderful ball. And it's hard into the back of the net. Flag stays down. Toronto FC 2 can't believe it, but it's Hoyt bringing FC Cincinnati all the way out of their hole. It's FC Cincinnati 4 and Toronto FC 2-3.
It was a great ball from Walker. Watch Ben Spencer, you can just see him on his screen. Both him and Liam Fraser just realize it just a little bit too late to step. When Walker has time on the ball, the back three have to drop. You can't be that high. It's a great run from deep from the fullback Hoyt, and what a clever little finish. That's a Premier League finish from Justin Hoyt.
Well, it came off the head of Mitchell Tainter. Listen, it's not very often you see a give and go executed like that, because Hoyt made the pass inside to Walker, who then played it over the top. Full credit to the right back for finishing his run, and he's absolutely rewarded for the run that he made. Walker to Hoyt, and just like that, FC Cincinnati finds himself in the lead late and in pole position to move into 6th place in the conference.
A little bit like Danny Alves making that run from deep. It's hard to pick up, but when a midfielder, Walker has time on it, you have to drop.
That was a mistake.
And protect that space in behind. The TFC II did so well in the first half.
The back line needs to drop, but the midfield needs to put pressure on him. Walker's been having way too much space in that middle of the park. Scored a goal from that area. This time, just a wonderful ball over the top. It was a little bit square as well. I mean, that's a difficult ball to play.
In an ideal world, I think Ben Spencer,
Sorry, Terry, here's Endo on the ball. Plays it far post. No one home. Fraser can't bring it down. Walker plays it clear, and here comes FC Cincinnati. Hold on to that thought, Terry. McLaughlin running at Endo. Are there more goals to be had here on Coney? A rare mispass, misplayed ball, I should say, by McLaughlin. Can Toronto FC 2 find a little magic to end their season? Endo pushing forward. Can they play spoiler? Uccello into the 6. Hildebrand this time does well to take that ball in. Terry Dunfield, your thoughts?
Yeah, just going back to the goal, if we can get another look at it, that'd be great. But I think Ben Spencer, he needs to get around that deep lying midfielder. You don't want your holding midfielder. I get his enthusiasm, Liam Fraser, to get there, but it was almost too late. But when a player has time on the ball like that, you need to drop. And I think the starting position of your goalkeeper can be a little bit higher as well.
Fraser, switch of play, well done, good ball to Endo. Uccello makes a run, the run wide, leaving space for Handel, but well read by FC Cincinnati. Romeo, inside to Endo, oh, that's a foul. Walker coming in late.
Good awareness from Endo. He just checked his shoulder. He knew the space was behind him, and he had the technique to back it up. Good quick feet to just elude Walker. Great opportunity.
Here we go, send the big bodies forward. Tainter pushes on. Onconi is in the area. Romeo is in the area. Only Aiden Daniels is hanging back, and it's Tsubasa Endo on the ball. Plays it wide, who can get ahead on it? It's FC Cincinnati. Second phase, good step over. Ball played inside the 6. Hildebrand covers. A little bit too narrow, Terry.
Yeah, he just needs to cut it back. Great feet again from the captain, Mitch Tainter. Someone has to make a near post run. Handel, Ben Spencer just on their heels a little bit.
We are just 8 seconds away from the 90. We'll see how much time will be added on. And 4 minutes. Alexis Vaughn shows 4 minutes. 4 more minutes in Toronto FC 2 season. 4 more minutes for FC Cincinnati to try to hold on. Ball played inside the area. It's Delbridge. Heading clear, McLaughlin. Let's see what TFC 2 can do here. That's not going to get it done.
No, a little bit too straight.
McLaughlin on his bike again. This guy is like, does the Energizer Bunny reference still work? Oh, McLaughlin, just a little bit of theatrics there. Get up, play on.
He's played a ton of football this season. This is 31st appearance of the season.
Energizer Bunny, the Iron Man. Very good player. Corbin Bone plays it wide left. Here's McLaughlin wide open, wrong man. He's in absolutely no hurry. I almost want him to just take it to the corner, but they're just killing time, keeping the ball. Cincinnati has numbers over here. Still have Walker in support. Finally find the man. It's at a walking pace right now as Toronto FC 2 completely outnumbered here on this near side. They need to bring bodies over, start defending. Time's running down.
Stop defending, they need to get the ball back. They put so much energy into this game. So tough, this last push. Hopefully they get one last opportunity.
Oh, Coney.
Stay on your feet.
Yes. Could finally go into the referee's book. Yellow card to Brendan Onconi here in the 90th minute. We are almost 2 minutes into the time added on, 2 minutes of the 4, so the time just ticking away as the FC Cincinnati support here tonight has been outstanding. I mean, if you're gonna drive 8 hours to sit out in the rain and the cool weather here, you might as well be rewarded with a 4-3 thriller. Dakers turns on Coney inside, still on the ball. Big save, big punch by Mark Pace. Continuing to give Toronto FC
Dakers is definitely given some attack down the right-hand side for FC Cincinnati. Great little Cruyff comes inside, and what a strong hand from Mark Pace. Look how strong that right hand is to keep that out.
Great stop.
And good defending from Romeo to pick up that rebound and stay switched on.
Well, Walker coming short here. This is going to be a short corner kick. They just want to keep it in the corner. Barely touched the ball. Walker dancing on it, trying to play it off Endo. Doesn't work out, but FC Cincinnati still on the ball. It's Walker again. Expertly wasting time on the ball. Offside, though. And Koenig just plays the ball away. Fraser and Pace playing a little 1-2, some dangerous stuff here. Just about a minute to go. That's a poor ball by Pace and a rash late challenge that's completely caused by some sloppy play out of the back. Dakers gets taken down. And it's Mitch Tainer. I mean, there's nothing you could do. It was just reaction, turned around, made contact with the player.
Yeah, it looks a lot worse than what it is. Dakers is in full flow. Not a lot Mitch Tainer can do. All stems from Liam Fraser and Pace, and neither one really wanted to take control. For me, Liam Fraser, just leave it. Let Pace get that ball up the pitch.
It's got to be just about it, Terry. Can't be much time at all left here at the Ontario Soccer Centre. Ball played to the far post. McLaughlin on the ball. The referee blows the whistle, and FC Cincinnati, nothing came easy this night, but they get the job done. They jump up to 6th place in the conference. They could finish no worse than 7th in the Eastern Conference, Terry. A big statement 4-3 victory for FC Cincinnati tonight.
Massive, massive second half from FC Cincinnati. They would have been easy away from home to lay down and die, but they were led by McLaughlin down this left-hand side. I thought he was awesome. Every time he got on the ball, it looked like something was going to happen. Very rarely did he disappoint. As we touched on during the broadcast, I thought he was able to come inside just a little bit too easily. But tons and tons of positives for TFC II. In particular, I thought Ben Spencer, he had his best game on return from injury for TFC II. I thought he was excellent up top, caused problems, and of course, Endo scored 2 goals. Just puts himself in the shop window for Greg Benny if needed for the first team.
No shortage of commitment, of effort tonight by Toronto FC too. They'll be absolutely gutted by this result, but an elation for FC Cincinnati. It's a 4-3 final. We'll be back to break it down and wrap it up for you next right here on USLsoccer.com.
Tony, as he presents the man of the match, number 9, Tsubasa Endo.
You usually give the man of the match to actual players on the field. Give it up to the support tonight here at the Ontario Soccer Centre. It's been raining all day, all night. It's been absolutely miserable, but these fans really made an incredible atmosphere in what was a special night of football. FC Cincinnati coming all the way back to win this one, an 86-minute winner. Justin Hoyt gets it, and FC Cincinnati with the full 3 points tonight, a 4-3 victory over Toronto FC 2. Gareth Wheeler alongside Terry Dunfield. For Toronto FC 2, I mean, this game and the way it played out kind of typified their season. You see a lot of positive play, you see some bright spots from the young talent, but just not enough to get over the finish line, but enough signs to give you reason to believe much brighter days are ahead in the not so distant future.
Very much so. Look at young Rocco Romeo, steps in, makes his debut. We're going to see a ton of him next season. I thought he was awesome at the back, won some big aerial challenges, was comfortable on the ball. In the game before this, we saw Noble Akello, very good young midfielder. Sean Hundel's just blossoming under his eyes. This season, he's really added goals to his game. And then you're seeing first-team players come down. Endo, he was awesome, scored 2 goals, connected passes between the lines. Ashton Morgan, he was very good on the left-hand side. So look, this TFC 2 team might be struggling a little bit in the standings, but some very, very good performances. And I think each season are getting better and better. Jordan Hamilton, another player, he stepped down and then stepped up, played some real important minutes for the first team as well.
A new home for Toronto FC 2 next year. We thank everyone up here at the Ontario Soccer Centre, Lamport Stadium, BMO Field, new stadium, and new expectations for TFC 2 next year. As for FC Cincinnati, they punched their playoff ticket. Now they're going to finish 6th or 7th in the Eastern Conference. Do they have enough to compete with the best of the best in USL and truly challenge come playoff time, Terry? I mean, we saw them do it in a cup competition in the US Open Cup earlier in the season. Do they have enough in the team to truly challenge?
I think they've got enough going forward. They look very good when they press high, but I like Walker in midfield, McLaughlin off the right-hand side. Attacking-wise, they're very good, but I think they just miss a little bit of pace at the back, and that pace is exposed at times because if you beat that initial press, all of a sudden Barry, Delbridge are in behind. They just struggle for that turn of pace, but they've got a very good goalkeeper in the net as well, in Hildebrandt. So I think he's been able to step up in big games, but important 3 points and hopefully a little bit of momentum for FC Cincinnati moving into the playoffs. An incredible
24 shots for FC Cincinnati. They didn't score any of their goals before the 41st minute, so 4 goals coming in the latter stages or in the middle stages of the game, and they really turned things on. I thought McLaughlin was a key man for them tonight. He's the Iron Man of the team, and we wish FC Cincinnati all the best as they move into the USL Soccer playoffs. Keep it locked to USLsoccer.com for all your playoff action. Terry, your season's done, buddy.
Golfing weather?
We're heading into winter. Terry can golf when it snows. We'll be sitting back and watching football across the globe and some of the best to come in USL Soccer. I want to thank Terry Dunfield and our entire production team and you, the viewer. On behalf of everyone, I am Gareth Wheeler. Good night from the Ontario Soccer Centre and good night to Toronto FC 2 season.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.